is holding you back from achieving everything that you desire? I found that when I changed my beliefs, when I changed the way I did things, and when I created my own principles around business and wealth, that the story changed. My name's Karen Newton. I am a business and wealth strategist, and I help clients build an ecosystem that supports their lifestyle choices. So, welcome, bonjour, hola, ni hao. I am going to talk to you today about my 10 principles. Now, the principles are based on be your own. And what that means is you're not reliant on anyone else. You become totally independent and resilient to what is happening globally. So let's start looking at what those 10 principles are. So principle number 1 is belief precedes wealth. And what I mean by that is you need to be your own belief system. Before there's income, before you build assets, before there is strategy, there must be belief. Belief in yourself that wealth is possible. Belief that capability can be built, that you can do whatever you need to do to build it. And belief and confidence in the steps that you are going to take. When you have belief, everything becomes easier. But when we start something new, we are always aware of the criticism around us, of people telling us we can't do things. And that actually chips away at that confidence of that belief system. So the first principle is ignore everybody else. Belief precedes wealth. Principle number 2 is wealth is an expansion of choice. All right. Wealth is not accumulation for status. Wealth expands and provides you with choice of time, choice of work, choice of contribution. Choice restores dignity. And you heard me say, I'm a business and wealth strategist. I help clients create the ecosystem that supports the lifestyle of their choice. It's all about choice. When you know what you want, then you can build an ecosystem around it. That means you don't have to wait until retirement age to enjoy it. You can enjoy it almost from the start of the journey. Number 3, business is income. A lot of people say, I don't want to build businesses. And I quite agree with that. I'm not someone who wants to build the next Apple or Amazon. Okay, that's not on my horizon at all. But I'm someone who builds cottage industry businesses. And by cottage industry, I mean small businesses built from home. Those small businesses create the income that allows me to invest. It allows me to create multiple income streams, and it allows me to have that freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. So business is income. Number 4 is to build the system. Wealth is created through structure. It's not a wish list. There is a path that you follow. And when you follow that path, you have no alternative but to make money and become wealthy. So wealth is created through structure, through multiple income streams, through layered asset classes, through consistent reinvestment and risk management. When you build a system, You then trust that the system you built is going to work, and you let it do its magic. One of the things that I say to clients is when you are investing, and I'm talking about investing, not trading, when you invest, it's like watching paint dry. It is boring, but you have to trust the system. Let the system work and then let it work its magic. Principle number 5, diversification creates durability. Now, what I mean by that is most people have a job. They have one income stream. If they lose their job, if they are sick, that income stream stops. By diversifying and having small businesses, cottage industry businesses that are working for them, they create multiple income streams. That takes away pressure. And when you've got that pressure off you, you are not worried about one going under because you've got a stability, a resilience in there. That means you can increase the output of another business or income stream to take up the gap for the one that doesn't work. When you have that freedom of choice, the decisions you make are built not on fear because I'm running out of money. They are built on the fact that you know you have those other income streams there. It's a totally different concept. Progress. Sorry, back to number 6. Progress is built slowly. Now, I use a phrase and I call it turtle power. And what that means is I remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, where the hare's diving around everywhere, and the tortoise just focuses on the thing it wants to do, and it ends up winning the race. Okay. But tortoise power was a little difficult to say, so I came up with turtle power. And what it means is disciplined, small action steps every day. It's small, steady, it compounds daily, weekly, monthly, annually. And that durability outweighs the people who come in and got to do all this now. I want to trade. I got to do, you know, they're absolutely hyper and then find that things don't work for them. Progress is built slowly. When you follow a path, when you know which way you're going, when you know what the end result is that you want, you just take those steps every day until you achieve it. Principle number 7 is resilience is modular. And what I mean by that is I talk a lot about cottage industries. I've mentioned them a lot today. They are small businesses. We create multiple income streams. We acquire multiple assets. We become our own economy. Now, we can take a business out and it doesn't affect us. We can plug another business in and that helps the whole economy that we are building. So each thing that we generate, we create is modular, but they all connect together and create our own economy. So resilience is modular. Principle number 8 is risk is managed, not avoided. Now, what I mean by that is that there is risk in absolutely everything we do. I'm talking to you here online now, and any number of things could actually happen. The internet could crash. That's the end of my video here today. I could suddenly be taken ill. That's the end of my video. They are risks. And there are things that I can do to reduce those risks. And that's exactly what we do with investing and business. We protect what we create. And diversification is one of those protection mechanisms because we're not reliant on one source. It reduces our exposure and it means we're not vulnerable to whatever is happening within the economy. So risk is managed, it's not avoided. Principle number 9, begin with what you have. So wealth doesn't require advantage. I know when I first started coaching, people would say to me, I haven't got any money to invest. They have been brainwashed. I suppose that's the only thing I can think of. It's been drummed into them that if you want to start investing, you need 10,000 to get started. And that's a lot of hogwash. I proved to clients that they could make money within the first month that they were working with me. And most of them did. And it was small amounts from 210 up to 5,500. It was different for every person, and every person had a different angle that they were able to work from. Right? Wealth starts by investing that very first dollar, pound, euro, whatever your currency is. Right? Some of the strategies that I teach require just one, and I put one in whatever your currency is. Maybe 10. 5. I better give you 10. The maths wasn't working today. So 10. You don't need 10,000. You can start with just one. But it's one that you have created from your business. And you duplicate that so it becomes 2, then 3, then 4. So you begin with what you have. If you come to me and you've got 10,000, then we start with 10,000. If you come to me and you say, I've got absolutely nothing, Karen, then the first thing we do is we get you to be building an income so that you can start investing. Right? So you begin with what you have. And principle number 10, let's get my 10 fingers up, one of thumbs, 10. Legacy is not measured solely in money. It is measured in opportunity created, knowledge passed forward, standards upheld, and life strengthened. Wealth used wisely improves more than one life. So principle number 10, legacy is strength transferred. Be your own economy. Hope you get something out of those 10 principles. They're what I believe in. They're what I have used to build my wealth. And I hope they will help you be your own economy and build your own wealth. Thank you.
Disclaimer. The information shared in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial, investment, legal, or tax advice and should not be construed as such. I am not a licensed financial advisor, and the strategies discussed are based on personal experience and general market knowledge. Always do your own research and consider your individual financial goals, risk tolerance, and personal circumstances before making any investment decisions. I strongly recommend that you consult with a qualified financial advisor or licensed professional before acting on any information discussed in this podcast. Investing involves risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results. By listening to this podcast, you agree that the host and associated entities are not responsible for any losses or damages arising from the use of this content.